Geez, I think I missed out on the cool background memo. You guys are looking pretty cool with those
Just have this
backgrounds.
lying around.
Yeah, and we get to do this cool strobing thing as well.
Ah, just part
Mhm.
of your power set.
It's part of the powers, yeah.
Um, so I got to see the first three episodes, which are really cool. Well, first I have to ask you, I have to be rude. How's the pandemic been going for you guys? How are you doing? How's everything? Are you okay for real?
Like everyone else, up and down, and sometimes 3 days good, 4 days shit, and then reverse repeat. So I think it's a strange time and a strange thing to be going through. So I think we're coping as well as everyone else.
Yeah, although we're probably a lot luckier than everyone else that we can do our jobs over this
Yeah.
than some people can't. So feeling grateful for that.
Likewise. As I was saying, I got to see the first three episodes a couple days ago, and even last season was crazy, but I didn't think it would get crazier, but it did. Um, Anthony, talk about a little bit from the difference between season one and season two. What was filming like this season versus last season?
Look, it was great. I love the long form structure of TV. You really get to do a lot more with these characters and really take them new places, and that's what season two is all about: is really new experiences and Homelander facing new challenges from quarters he never expected, and really dealing with the choices that he made in season one. So it's really great to be able to get another bite of the cherry and dip into that world again.
Another bite
From
of
the
the cherry.
trailer,
I've never heard that before.
What?
I know that's a new
Another
one.
bite of the cherry?
Did I make that up?
I think so. I like it.
That was good. That was good. You come in hot. Like I mean, you come in
Oh yeah.
real spicy. Was some of the material intimidating for you, or were you shocked at all when you're reading some of the scripts?
Yeah, I mean, I got a heads up on where the character was heading, so that wasn't a shock, but obviously in practice, some of the language is, surprising and shocking and not something I've done before. I also haven't flown or, killed people with my lightning hands. So yeah, it's shocking, but hopefully, hopefully serves a real purpose and an interesting conversation, as well as some entertainment.
Both your characters are such a mix of different heroes we've seen in mainstream before. Like for you, Aya, we have Shazam, maybe a little bit of Captain Marvel. You Homelander, we have maybe Superman, a bit of Captain America. Did you guys watch any of the superhero films? Was some of that inspiration to you guys?
For me, no. I mean, you can't grow up without knowing who Superman is and Captain America's, pretty broad as well. So, I have an idea who they are, but basically, I mean, they're so upright and correct and ethically perfect. So, basically, I just think about the opposite, and my work is done.
I was a big X-Men fan, which is not superheroes, but is comic books. So that's what I read growing up, and cartoons and collected cards and all that jazz. But I was never huge into the superheroes. I sort of dipped my toe in. But what I like about this show is that you don't have to be into superheroes to see them spun, because it sort of looks at the culture that we're in, and makes the hypothesis that people who have those kind of powers would probably not be using them for good a lot of the time, and that power corrupts. So I think you can jump into the boys without having sort of a background on superheroes. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Tomer.
Hey, man.
How's everything? How are you guys doing?
Good, good, good.
Good. Thank you.
Good. I see. What's on your shirt, Karen? Is that a fruit?
There are some citrus fruits, grapefruit,
Ah,
lemons, keeping it summery.
a very summer. Yeah, you're on summary page.
I love it. You have some hibiscus flowers on there.
Oh, that's what these are.
I think they are. I think.
We're gonna look it up afterwards. Check Walmart's directory.
Walmart.
Um, you guys are so much fun. Season two. I mean, season one, you guys were kicking butt. so hard. And then tell me how it's prepping for season 2 versus season 1.
Oh my God! In every scale you can think of. I mean, season 2. I think it's more crazy than anything I ever saw in my life. Period. Like anything in television. And I'm not feeling like, I'm trying to promote or exaggerate. I feel like I'm being so honest. It's the most craziest roller coaster there is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's not much. I mean, you can prepare for your role and your scenes, but as for the action bits, there's not really much preparation that you can do. It's a lot of you're thrown in there, and it's always a surprise and lots of shocking choreography and lots of blood. So. You can prepare as much as you want, but it's always going to be a new experience on A Day of the Boys.
Yeah.
Season 1, we see a lot of chemistry between your two characters. Do we get some more of that in season 2? How does your guys' relationship develop over the course of the season? Or what you can tell us.
Of course, yeah. I think in season 1, it is a mutual, connection. And in season 2, you'll kind of see Kimiko wanting to go off on her own and finding her own identity outside of Frenchie. And so there's a little bit of friction between the two characters without giving away too much. I would say there's a lot of love and relationship between the two, but there's a bit of a clash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely a clash.
Yeah.
Get it.
With your character, the boy is Frenchie, Tomer. He's always just kind of like the smartest guy in the room, and preparation
Merci beaucoup. No, I don't think nobody ever told
Nobody
me
has ever said that.
Oh, really? No. I mean, to me, he comes across as the smartest guy in the room. Talk about like your aspects, personality-wise. What if Tomer is in Frenchie?
A lot of the smartness, obviously.
Genius, pure genius.
A lot of the genius in me. I didn't have to go that deep to find the genius in me, but
I can see it.
no, more than anything, I think first season, it's all about finding a lost Frenchie, and then obviously when Kimiko comes into the boy's family, definitely finding himself with someone who he can identify with. So in terms of me, playing opposite to Karen, our beautiful chemistry that worked straight away was a key element for I think the relationship of the characters, and for me as an actor to approach our scenes. It was pretty organic, easy, and you know what? I want to say we worked really hard about this relationship but it was like a glove to the hand. It was like a mask to the COVID, if you like.
Oh no. A mask to the COVID. Latching on.
It's so late in Israel. It's so late.
That's the perfect way to wrap it. Oh, I forgot you.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was a late thing in Israel. But
well,
hey man.
Hey Eric, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How have you been?
Locked up.
Yeah, same.
But it's cool though, because I don't have any FOMO. That's what's nice. Like everyone's doing nothing, and it actually brings me kind of a serene comfort.
Oh, I never thought about that. It's good. Yeah, you realize you're not missing out on anything, not being out.
Yeah.
About, I guess.
Yeah.
The Boys, season 2, it's phenomenal. I mean, you guys did it again. What was going into season 2? What was your strategy versus season 1?
I think a mistake a lot of shows make is they try to top themselves, and that's unsustainable, and you end up jumping the shark, and just things get silly eventually. So we tried really hard not to go bigger, but to go deeper. We really wanted to challenge the characters and put them in the tightest corners we could think of, and then see how they react, and sort of force them to reveal new sides of themselves. So that was really the main approach, is just get people more and more in love with the characters. Before, yes, there's crazy shit and everything, but first and foremost, try to make them love the characters.
And we did. We definitely loved the characters even more this season.
Yeah.
You've done some amazing television in the past. How have your previous shows helped you prepare for this show?
Just in terms of just having the experience of having gone through the process, it's never any easier to break story. It's every bit as hard and painful for the very first script I've ever written to the 100-something script. It's the same. The only thing that experience really gives you is you know where, if you're in a dark room trying to figure out your story, you know where the holes in the floor are, and you have the confidence that 9 times out of 10 it'll work out. That's all it gives you. It just gives you a little bit of confidence, but it doesn't help you break the story any easier, because everything's always totally different than the thing before it.
Of course. And then with a show like this, you have so much special effects going on, and of course, there's a very intricate storyline at the same time, which is great. How do you balance with all the action going on with the story?
You really try to lead with character. We start every episode by spending days talking about the emotions of the characters. I sort of insist on it. It's like I don't even really want to talk about the story until I really understand where their heads are in that episode, where they start and where they end. And then once we're really confident that we know that, then we start coming up with, okay, what are the scenes that tell that to me? What is an action scene that helps me understand the emotion of the character? What's an insane moment of talking to your own gills, but tells me something about your character? And it helps make those sequences, the visual effects or the stunts or the action, it helps really ground them, because they're not just about spectacle. They're actually important to move the story forward. So I think you always start with emotion before you go to plot, and that's usually the right way through.